All right, let's get going, people. It's time for Bob Ryan, Jeff Goodman, Gary Tanguay along for the ride. Podcast, Zoom, however you consume. We've asked this question before, but now that we seem to have more parity than ever in the NBA, is it Luka, is it Ja, or is it Tatum?
No.
Who do you pick out of the three? And the reason we're talking about this is Luka's on a roll with 9 straight 30-point games. Bob Ryan, we start with you.
Well, the public always embraces little guys before they embrace big guys, little and mid-sized guys. I think Ja is got the best case. But I think we had this discussion last year.
Right. Well, Giannis is in Milwaukee. If Giannis is in New York, it's a different story, Bob.
Well, Ja's in Memphis.
But have they closed the gap? Here's my question, and I think this is what Gary is kind of getting at. Giannis is Giannis, right? Have these young guys, the young guys, because Giannis isn't old, have they closed the gap a little bit to where you would take one of them if you were starting a team? Like, who would you start a team with today, Bob? If you had to pick one player, period, in the league, it's you can't even make a case for LeBron anymore. I don't know if you can make a case for Kevin Durant's been playing out of his mind, but you're going to go young. You're going to go young because they're that good.
Well, I mean, if Giannis is into the middle age category, what is he, 27? No, seriously. That's my answer. Well, he's the answer for me. If I had to take one, you put that proverbial Luka.
I think that's true. But like to me, I mean, Bob, you're really down on Tatum, which surprises me because
I'm down on him at all. I'm just not elevating him into this discussion.
I think Tatum has the best upside of the three. I think when all's said and done, Tatum's going to be the best of the three.
Wow. Well,
he's averaging. Bob,
I like that.
He's averaging 30 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4 assists. And, oh, by the way, he's shooting the hell out of the ball. He's shooting 50% from the field, 36 from three, which isn't great. But with the type of shots he takes, he's not going to shoot in the 40s from three. 89 from the line. His 2.5 turnovers a game it's actually not that bad for all he has the ball in his hands. But I think Tatum absolutely belongs in the discussion. The only reason I'm not taking Jayson Tatum today over Ja Morant or Luka is because they have the ball in their hands. They're true point guards. That's the only reason for me is you can put the ball in their hands at the end of the game and just say, hey, make a play for yourself or for others. Tatum can do that, but he is not as comfortable doing that as Ja or Luka.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. And to Bob's point, we have seen Ja Morant do some marvelous things. I mean, he has really, especially late in the game, Bob, this guy has risen from the ashes to win games.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm a huge fan. I've been a fan ever since.
Fun as hell.
I just said it's a good discussion. I'm going to enter another discussion as a corollary. I'm not downgrading Jayson Tatum. I mean, I'm happy with him. So that's all.
The other thing Tatum does probably better than both those guys today is defend. Definitely better than Luka. And I don't think we place enough of a priority on defense when we're talking about these conversations, unless it's an elite defender, like Michael was an elite defender, right? Like you have those guys, but Ja, when he wants to be, can be a very, very good defender. He's not always there. Most guys nowadays, when they get to star status, they back off. They back off on their defense, conserve energy, still guarded at the highest. He was the
best two-way player in the league. That's what made him special. I mean, along with except when LeBron decided I'm going to go up and guard somebody, which he could do when he wanted to. But at his prime, no. I think what I'm doing here, and I'm thinking on the fly here, because I wasn't really prepared for this discussion. No, it's great. Is I'm being defensive about my approval of Tatum. I don't want to come off as too parochial here. That's all. I mean, I love the guy.
You never worried about this before.
I love the guy. And I'm not thinking, Jesus, am I going to put him in this discussion? You could be changing my mind while we're having this conversation.
But here's the one thing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Here's the thing that has dogged Tatum.
It's one thing.
And it's one thing. And it's because he didn't show up, as we learned, due to injury in the finals. Okay. Yep. Now, the other two haven't been there. Okay.
No, but Luka hasn't. I mean, I guess Luka did last year. He had Jalen Brunson. He just doesn't have the talent or like what Luka does with I don't want to say mediocre talent, but not great talent is really, really impressive last year in the playoffs. And now he's got him in first place in their division. Luka, I mean, he's ridiculous what he's done to help his team win and carry them.
And what he's in the run he's on right now. This is historic, as we're seeing in terms of the point totals. It's historic. It's matching. It's approaching Wilt. Most seasons starting 30-point games and all that. So it's fine. And he is amazing because it's hard to label exactly what his position is. He plays like a point guard. He's got the ball all the time. I'm thinking about him in terms of Larry. Larry's great thing ultimately for me was he got more accomplished without the ball, with the ball in his hands less than anyone in the history of the game. But these other guys got the ball, Luka's got the ball all the time, and to do what he does. And Jokic has the ball a lot, but he doesn't have it as much as Luka, because Luka does, have. Anyway, in terms of the whole answering, the discussion, the question was, who's the face of the league kind of thing. And I would have to.
There is none. I think there's a few of them, and that's the beauty right now.
No, it's good, and don't forget Joker. I mean, he's phenomenal. I would say this though. Here's one for you. You got to win tonight, right? You got to win tonight. This is it. It's Game 7. It's June. It's Game 7. It's hot out, but it's cool inside, and the air conditioning's going on. Okay, you got to win. I'll tell you who I would, of all the people that are still breathing and playing the game, who I think I might want to have if I had the first pick right now. Steph Curry, still.
Yeah.
You still take Steph number one.
At 47 last night in a close game, in a 2-point game.
Have you looked at their record lately?
No, their record's no. I know.
No, they stink.
But I'm not blaming it on him.
No.
Anyway, I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, it's a great debate because you could say Steph, you could say Ja because of his comebacks. You could pick any of these guys because of their one-on-one ability and the way they've been able to take over a game. I mean, we've seen Tatum do that. We didn't see him do that in the finals. That was the thing that's still dogging Tatum, is that, on the surface, people are going to look how Steph stepped up, excuse the pun, in the finals and Tatum didn't. That's kind of haunt Tatum a little bit.
And the guy, a name that was that was mentioned in passing, Kevin Durant is still a tremendous force. You wouldn't go far wrong saying I want him.
Nothing with him.
I want him tonight to win the game. You wouldn't go far wrong with that at all.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what could be the differentiator. I don't know if he's going to continue to shoot the ball like this, but right now Ja Morant is shooting 48% from three. That was going to be his Achilles heel coming into the league. Obviously, he's super athletic. We know he can pass it. But he's a guy that, has shot pretty much in the low 30s from three. And you go under screens and you dare him. You pray he shoots the ball from three. Right now, he's 20 of 42 so far from three, which is 48%, guys. If he does that, if he could shoot 40 from three, which I don't think he can do, but even the high 30s, you say to yourself, like, how can you possibly stop this kid? And what can he do? Again, he makes his teammates better. He's super, super athletic, at a different level, obviously, than Luka, than Tatum, than most guys on the planet. So that's the separator for me. If Ja really has worked on his shot to where he's become a above average perimeter shooter, he's probably the best player, the one you start your team with.
All right. Well,
how do we account for the curiously good record they've had in games without him?
I know.
Sometimes it's who you
weird.
play.
That's a great point. I don't know. It's an enigma.